We celebrate, uh, here in this country, we celebrate Scout Sunday as the Sunday before February 8th. February 8th being the date in 1910 that Scouting America, originally called until recently Boy Scouts of America, was founded. But so in this country, we celebrate this Sunday early in February as Scout Sunday. Other countries, particularly in Europe, a Scouting Day of Reverence is usually on St. George Day on April 23rd. April 23rd being, St. George Day, the patron saint of Scouting. We celebrate Scout Sunday, an opportunity for those who are involved with the Scouting movement to contemplate the Scout oath and the Scout law. You're familiar with the Scout law, I'm presuming, any of you. A Scout is trustworthy, a Scout is loyal, a Scout is helpful, a Scout is friendly, a Scout is courteous, a Scout is kind, a Scout is obedient, a Scout is cheerful, a Scout is thrifty, a Scout is brave, a Scout is clean, a Scout is reverent. When I was a Weebo Scout, that's how my dad made me memorize that. It's important, and the Scout oath is important. Everything else that comes with the Scouting method, the uniform, the Scout craft, the tying the knots and the setting up the fire and the cooking and the setting up the tents and tying the knots, singing around the campfire, a good funny skit in front of the campfire. All of that is meaningless with the Scout oath and the Scout law, but it begs the question, why do you need both? Why do we need both the Scout law and the Scout oath? And I would suggest to you, sisters and brothers, that the key to this we find in the Scout oath, 5 words. I will do my best. The problem is, I'm sure you realize is obvious, because the more practice that we have in living the Scout oath and Scout law, the better we get at it, the more difficult it becomes, because our best becomes that much more difficult. It's an important assertion, the Scout oath and the Scout law, yes? If we want to build a better world, we start by being better people. We oftentimes, and we should, spend a lot of time thinking about the 10 Commandments. They are important, yes, and they're difficult. But today, as our Lord starts his wonderful Sermon on the Mount, he also gives us the Beatitudes, which are also, by the way, very difficult. Why do we need both? Because we need the Beatitudes to learn how to live the commandments. And we need the commandments to learn how to live the Beatitudes. We realize that if we're going to witness the kingdom, if we're going to witness the gospel, to make the world a better place, we need to let God make us better people. And so he gives us the commandments, and he gives us the Beatitudes. And even more so, sisters and brothers, to make the world a better place, we let God make us happier people. Beatitude, we get the word beatitude, beatus, the Latin word. It's one of the words that means holy. It means happy. I know I messed that up. I'm okay, right? Happy are the poor in spirit. Happy are they who mourn. It's exactly the opposite of what the world tells us. You only have to turn on the television, the radio, the internet. That the world tells us what it means to be happy. The world tells us to be happy, it means to be rich. The world tells us to be happy, we need to be proud. The world tells us to be happy, we need to be comfortable. The world tells us to be happy, we might need to use a little violence now and again. Huh? The world tells us to be happy, we should be a little vulgar. What does Jesus tell us? Happy are the poor in spirit. Happy are those who mourn. Happy are the meek. Happy are the merciful. Happy are the clean of heart. Happy are the peacemakers. Happy are those who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness. Happy are those when folk utter every kind of evil falsely because of Jesus. To live the Beatitudes is difficult, sisters and brothers. It requires us to cut against our pride, to cut against our selfishness, to cut against our concupiscence. And it's difficult. But we don't do it by ourselves. In fact, we can't do it by ourselves. We trust in the Lord who keeps faith forever. We trust in the Lord who secures justice for the oppressed. Exercising as we do with practice, with effort, with intent, living these 8 Beatitudes, being humble and lowly, taking refuge in the name of the Lord. And doing so, sisters and brothers, allowing Jesus, who became for us wisdom from God, as well as righteousness, sanctification, and redemption, to help us do the hard work of being authentically happy, so that we may rejoice and be glad and love everyone in truth of heart. Praise be Jesus Christ, now and forever.